Last time on the gavel, the grand fiasco turns in the judge's favour. But some things can't be unseen. It was ridiculously excessive. But first, another uncomfortable discussion.
Where is the college in Northbeach?
It's at the top. They take up real estate all over Northbeach. They have stuff out in Applesauce because they teach agriculture, but the main campus is in Blanche, and it's mostly in Undertown, but the tower comes out of Mount Ferrio and goes up and down into the earth, but they have a little bit of real estate all over Northbeach for whatever they teach.
Okay, so is it just Northbeach University at that
point?
Okay.
They just call it the university because for a while it was the only one in the country, but now it's, North Beach U, surf, turf, North, that thing going on. The big bat teams, you're like a lot of you probably still go to school there. Blick, you probably had a lot. I'm going to say you minored in law to explain your involvement in court. But yeah, it's up there.
Blick probably still goes on dates there.
If he wanted to teach there, he could get some tail. So
I mean that would.
Cool.
I don't know how Blick would feel about soliciting minors.
No, college. They're all adults.
Yeah,
right. But here's the thing: is what would age of consent be like on a race by race basis?
Oh,
everybody...
Here it is.
Oh, God,
no. All right. So everyone be seated. This is actually a discussion we had not just on age of consent, but how long do you imprison somebody who lives for hundreds of years? Now, Northbeach would probably be enlightened about this and go on a percentage system so that they don't put, a goblin in jail for 10 years and an angel in jail for 10 years when angels live 5,000 years and goblins live, 60?
Ish.
So they probably go on a percentage basis, but there have been probably wrongdoings in Northbeach based on that, where they imprisoned someone of short life for his whole life, and some creature that lived forever for 5 years for the same crime, and there was a big stink about it, and now they go based on percentage.
Why did I think goblins only lived about 20 years?
Because typically they don't live past 20.
Those rules are for those.
It's not natural longevity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Combat.
It's probably longer in Moderna because they aren't out there in the outback waiting for travelers to come through so they can kill them for their canvas. They're like,
I figure that they're one of the species that has an elaborate coming of age thing where it's if you survive your coming of age process, everything past that's probably pretty safe.
I seem to find it.
Have you ever wondered why it's so rare for you to see goblin spellcasters?
Let me call this canon. In Moderna, whenever it came time for a goblin to be heroic, they never, ever disappointed, ever. They always came through with fireworks. They're like, oh man, it's time. And then they went in there and blew themselves up in a huge blaze of glory. And, goblins have... D&D goblins were crazy tribals that, robbed you of your trinkets, and these days they've come a long way, just like humans. And, the ones down in your ass are still kind of dock workery, kind of got a
Why you gotta be talking about my ass goblins?
Hey man, he came up with the name and I'm glorifying it. It's canon.
Why you always gotta be glorifying my ass, man?
Because I love your ass. I love the music that comes out of your ass. I love the dancing that comes out of your ass.
I love the fish that comes out of your ass.
Oh, man.
Anyway, we were in combat. Let's get back to combat.
Maybe. I like the organicness of how our flow is, but before you tell a period joke, let's just get back into it. So we've got everyone here. The last ones to go was Bombini. Sorsha, I'll say that you're at the top of the round. You've popped up on top of this thing. You're on a boat that has a nice wooden deck. There are cushy seats. There are dead people all over them. Some of them have this same black armor with like head tails coming off of it, and they've got machine guns. And the guys shooting down at the crew of the Araskabai are still, mostly they're still shooting. You hear a buzzing of bees. You have no idea what's going on. You're traumatized by seeing the corpses of your children. The police with you saw what you saw. And the worst part is you know you weren't hallucinating. So you're on the deck, and these are the assailants. Everyone who died had bullet wounds. What do you do?
Dominica! And
all right, attacks.
18, my +1 to get in.
Okay.
You have on your team right now a Kotoa. The Kotoa, which are like they're very fishy, but I can't describe it right now because you have one mermaid in, like, she's got heavy armor too. She's like serious shit.
Nice.
And a shoal dwarf and another amphibious goblin of Felky species, actually. They are all seriously traumatized by what they've seen, and they start shooting. The mermaid shows her teeth and shoots one of them in the head. Down. And the guy's like collapses to his knees and drops his gun. Good shooting. What did you roll?
I rolled a 14, so plus a 4, that's an 18.
That's a hit. Roll damage.
Oh, yeah.
Just barely.
Done.
And for those of you paying attention, their armor class is 18.
Okay.
Give that to you for free. I remember when my players would just draw the highs and lows on the whiteboard until they knew what the defense was. I'll just tell you.
I rolled a 9 on a d10.
Do you smite?
Can I smite?
You have a ranged smite. You can use it. You can definitely use
Is
it.
that a trick question? Hell yeah, let's smite these. Hold on, I might have young listeners here. Let's smite these bad guys.
No, you can say bad words. We're
Smite
way
the
past
fucker.
that. Smite the fucker. Yeah, shoot the motherfucker. God damn it. And the other person who gets the nice roll shoots this person in the chest. So that person has two crossbow, like two spear gun rounds in the chest. These amphibious crossbows use pretty big arrows. Mm-hmm. And he's like, ah! He's screwed up, but he's not dead. And there's two more of these guys still active. The next is them. Oh. They roll so poorly. They expend 20 rounds of ammunition on you and your squad and hit nothing but air. Your Honor, roll a profession check for me.
Okay, 20 in total.
You have no idea how to use these fucking things, do you? You have no idea how to use these machine guns. Someone just handed you this and said go. You have no idea how to use these, do you? You have no idea how to use these. You have no idea what they're for. You have no idea. They start trying to reload. Lenny, you're close enough to one of these guys that while he's reloading, you get an attack of opportunity.
Yep, 11 points of damage. Because I had an 18 to hit.
Alright, yes, okay. You just punch him in the face really hard. The magazine flies over the side into the water. He's really in trouble. Like, any move he makes is going to impart an attack of opportunity for you. So instead, he goes for his sword. You may make another attack of opportunity. And if you want that to be a disarm, you can make it a disarm, just for fun.
Yeah. It's, so, is there a bonus for disarm? Because I only ended up with a 15.
You'd make a CMD. Roll again. What's your CMB? Is that written down? Or are we gonna slush it?
I think we're gonna have to slush it, because I don't even see it on my character sheet.
At this rate, roll me a +8, just a flat +8, because you're a martial artist, he's using a gun, he barely knows how to use it apparently.
Okay.
He's trying to
22.
Oh, that's enough. He pulls out the magazine and you take the magazine from him and just kind of drop it. Which basically makes the statement, you can't. You're done.
Sit.
The other guy rolled insanely poorly. He surrenders to the police. You look over the side, everyone on this boat, you look over the side at the Araskabai. The boarders have basically been surrounded. Judge, Eurus is on the deck with your children. They're alive. Ambassador Haihan is on the deck limping around, ignoring the doctor's orders, just coming out onto the deck just to see the mess. The Durals flee back into Sable. underwater, like swimming, disappearing like they do.
I was just summoning bees to chase them.
You keep summoning. That's part of the reason they surrendered, is because you summon bees and.
Who the fuck summons bees?
I guess.
What I'll reveal a secret. I don't usually give a combat. I give a situation, and you can solve the situation. And one of the things that you have is you have the ability to sap people's will to fight. Who wants to fight bees? No one. I will tell you, you've gone around town with your bee, nobody fucks with you. Ever. Like, when you go on the street, no one... just because you're on a bee and it's red and yellow...
Well,
and
they're sacred and protected in Northbeach, for one.
And, even if you don't have a license, the other thing is bees are a terrifying thing, and no one wants to fight them. But you have your giant one also, and so no one messes with you. So I will tell you, you very quickly got your license for your giant bee. That was easy. You got your license for your giant bee.
We did have Zooks on board.
Yeah. And someone, the Zooks thought it was super cool. They warn you, part of the test is how well you can command it. And being mindless is good and it's bad, because you can never teach it morals or any of that, but that's also kind of a... So anyway, you have the ability to sap people's will to fight, because you can summon swarms of bees. That's part of what happened here. In the aftermath of the fight, Shinjo Haibatsu has been shot to pieces. Several, you've lost about 35 personnel. This boat that ran into you is surrounded by small salt vessels and Teleport Authority astral skiffs, upon which Ignacio is on one of them. The time cops show up. They start a fight with the TPA as to whose jurisdiction this is. There's kind of briefly a deadlock. The ship that ran aground of yours, they're kind of trying to analyze it. What was the kid's name, Blick, the goblin on your boat?
The goblin?
I thought it was a half-elf. His
second in command was a half-elf, but one of his... Bognus is the half-elf, but he had a goblin as a cabin boy or something?
No.
Oh, man.
I thought you had a goblin on the crew.
No. So the goblin that was
Crew or harem?
right? I did have two. I did have two cabin personnel, two boatsmen.
Okay.
But I can't remember what they were. To be honest, it had never come up until just now, because we had.
I thought one of them was a goblin. All right. You have two crew members that can be any race you want. Define them now.
They're aquatic goblins. Friends of mine, come back in your ass.
They're both wounded, and they approach you like hey, boss. It got Bognus.
Big loss.
Okay,
What?
There's something else you should probably look at.
What's that?
You just have to see it. And you kind of have to argue your way through a picket of time cops and TPA cops. But you managed to get a rowboat out there, and they row to the keel of this boat that rammed yours.
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking at the letters, and they've been hastily scratched out, but you can clearly read that it used to say, the NBNV, your ass goodbye.
The fuck?
Dun dun dun.
So you guys are right now it's kind of still administrative chaos.
Yeah.
The Teleport Authority seem to intercept this on the astral plane coming at reality, and then the time cops say no, it's from another time, and the Teleport Authority says that doesn't matter, you don't exist, and the time cops are like, oh, you want to start that shit with us?
So both of you could shut the fuck up. I don't give a fuck what you have to say. One, it is your responsibility as the time cops to keep the fucking timeline straight, okay? So I don't give a fuck if you exist or you don't fucking exist. You let something out. You failed at doing your job and allowed this thing to come from a completely different plane of existence over to where we exist, and frankly, you done fucked up too. So I want you two to figure this shit out immediately and figure out where the hell my boat came from.
Damn. Well, currently,
And if you don't get this figured out immediately, I'm gonna get the Grand Admiral of Bithriax in on this situation, and both y'all will be thrown in my brig or her brig, any brig. All of you are gonna rot in hell for the rest of your miserable fucking lives. And I don't give a damn. Frankly, I don't care how long your fucking lives are. You're gonna sit in a goddamn cell for the rest of your fucking lives. You understand me? Figure this shit out.
This unit of time cops, they just kind of let you finish, and the teleport authority, they're kind of scattered. They let you finish because you're the captain of this boat, and they kind of have an edge on what happened. Judd, you're kind of here on this situation. The unit of time cops seems to consist of Breed, but they all have like different hair color. One's wearing thick goggles, one has a cowboy hat. It seems that the party mentality of Northbeach even applies to Temper, and this one is made of alternates of your daughter.
It's like time splitters all over again.
They're trying to have an argument with the teleport authority. The teleport authority's problem is, no, time is space. You aren't real. This is an alternate dimension thing. This is our jurisdiction. No, this is our jurisdiction.
oh jeez.
No, this is our jurisdiction. And your daughters kind of look at you and go, like, some of them look at like, please help us, Mummy. And other ones look like they could spit. And so, like, they're kind of just waiting for this to die down as if they have all the time in the world, because they do. And the teleport authority, Ignacio, is there, and they're saying that it came in off the astral. But the Temper's like, yeah, but they got the boat from the future. That's why it's so fast. And the TPA is like, no, they didn't. They got it from a dimension where it was more advanced. So they've got this argument going on. And Judge, you're in the middle. You see opportunity to intercede here, but you're also up against forces that you don't quite understand. No, the alt time is a plane. There's an elemental plane of time. You know that doesn't make any sense. You know that all the alternate dimensions in infinite dimension are a result of time, and this is a result of intercession by time. This is a result of someone strafing. Strafing means someone interfering with time. And this one woman, one of the time cops, like, Mama, please say something.
Please, can we all get back aboard Lieutenant Blick's ship, sit down and talk about this like rational individuals?
People warily move back to the original yacht of the Ura's goodbye. There's still red and blue lights. The TPA and the Temper are still kind of arguing, but they're getting ready to cordon the ship off because it is alien to your time and space. You kind of make your way back to the... Harker is still there, he hasn't run away. Eurus is seeing to both your kids and Harker Hathrick. He is not privy to any of the information that has happened.
About this time, anyone that's paying attention will notice that Rexus has been sitting down meditating since the end of combat. Doesn't seem to be moving or taking note of anything else going on at the moment.
There is a flare from the Navy. The battleship Stern Warning is responding.
You and your fucking friends.
And then suddenly it just starts raining. Like pissing down.
Not have respected Jade enough. Puns.
Can anyone counter the weather?
Yeah, let me see what I can
It's
do.
just a little rain.
Probably, but
There's a bimini. It's not a terrible loss, but like, Blick, make a profession check, please. You probably get this.
Yeah. That's an 11 for 19.
Alright, good enough. But I was just going to tell you this. The weather of Northbeach is regulated by salt. And you know that to cast Change Weather takes a minimum of 10 minutes to work. So they probably cast Change Weather on the way in, hoping it would obscure this boat to intercession by the Navy. And it only just went off even after the battle's over. So the 10 minutes went off, and now it's raining.
Great.
And now a brief intermission. We use the genius of Kevin MacLeod for our soundtrack. We use it to death. But this week we have a musical sponsor, Creative Forge Games from Poland, featuring music from their right cracking espionage game Phantom Protocol. It's great fun, great fun. The best part is when you capture an enemy spy and
Strap him to a chair and...
Anyway, during the break, the Navy issues Blick a battleship. The NBV clear advantage to better protect the judge, and they received a visit from the mysterious Fabric of Reality Protection Agency. We really need to stop role-playing after hours.
I'm not going to do it, ever, because I don't know how they get away with it, so I checked. And they said, try just asking them. And so,
that's fine.
I sent an email to this company that makes the game that I've been using to avoid editing called Phantom Doctrine. And I sent them an email, and I said, hey, can we use the music in your game in our podcast if I say the game is awesome? Because it is, I love it. And they actually sent back, yeah, man, send us a link to your podcast. We're eager to hear it. So we're now allowed to use music from Phantom Doctrine in this episode, and we're going to do it.
All right.
Yeah. So the other thing going on is we don't know if Brother Lenny's coming. And Brother Lenny...
I would assume that probably not.
I still haven't leveled up my character. I am dumb as fuck.
Are you still level 4?
I am still a level 4. Yes, I am.
Good job.
You poor bastard.
I'm a level 4, and I'm losing hundreds of dollars in the stock market.
Like months. Like weeks ago.
I know. I'm trying to find that. Oh fuck! I need a fucking generator because I don't like having to look shit up and like leveling up and here. Yeah, Jay. Hey, can you level up my character for me?
Yes.
Thanks, dude.
So I found a Google Doc.
There's an app called
like,
PC
all the
Gen.
work for you.
Wait.
Yeah,
what?
I think I was using PC Gen, or
What'd
like
you
I was
say,
using something similar.
Yeah, it'll load modules, so it's good for D&D or Pathfinder or whatever. Never mind. Keep going. Sorry, guys.
Aaron was saying something, though.
I know I didn't. Mary said something.
I said something.
You said something, and you sound kind of like Aaron.
There's a Google Doc that I found that someone created that like does a lot of the work for you. I can share that if people want it.
Yeah, let me look at it, please.
All right.
Jay, where are we coming in from last week?
We're coming in from... They picked up the pieces of the limousine massacre. They're still analyzing the Phantom ship that crashed into the original Iraskabai. Temper said we have to take one of these boats back. Blick elected to have them take the older one because it was
Demolished.
torn terribly to bits. It was fairly demolished, and the new one has salvageable parts, but in order to get them all, he may have to go deep inside of it, and it seems to be holding more secrets than even his was. There are a couple of other things you have to look into. One, Rexus... you could go there. If you ever wanted to adventure in your ass, we would finally lay that shit to rest and tell all the your ass jokes in one night. Yeah, we'd get it all out of our system and tell the jokes like, I love your ass. I love your ass too.
I'm actually kind of worried.
I just can't kick your ass.
To be honest, I'm kind of tired of your ass. I never want to see your ass again.
we're recording the second half of episode 3 right now, and nobody's even heard episode 1 giving feedback yet. So it's like,
yeah, we're out in space.
I really hope this joke doesn't fall flat.
My brain is fried, so I'm just going to make you all talk to each other. I'm just going to make you all talk to each other last night. So the other things you have to look into are someone has to talk to Ambassador Haihan. Rexus, that's technically your duty.
Yep, I figured that.
You also have to talk to each other about some things. Now, I'm going to go with each of you and see who you want to talk to. If you want to talk to a player character, that's fine. If you want to take an NPC with you, you may. If you want to talk to an NPC, you've got to bring a PC with you. So, Rexus, we've been meaning to start with you on a lot of things. So you have quite a few things to look into, but the most expedient one would be to talk to either Ambassador Haihan or talk to Blick about what he heard from Ambassador Haihan.
Blick already filled me in on that.
We already done that on stream.
On screen?
Yeah.
Did you, Jay? You listened to the recording of the entire recording, didn't you?
I think so, but
That was last.
No, it was.
Yeah,
I kind of remember it on there. It was not the main part I was working with. I was much more obsessed with the boat crash.
As a matter of fact, that's why I kind of brought Blick in. Is his experience already with Haihan made him a logical choice to bring in for further investigations as this goes on.
Okay,
I think we need to catch up with Hathrick at some point as well, debrief him on that.
How soon is this happening after everything? Because for the duration of combat, I was with
you were with the
Haihan
children
and the kids in the equipment, so I may already be there.
Still don't know what we're talking about, but it's all good.
There was a big fiasco you missed last time. There was an attack on the Araskabai. There was a huge battle against unknown assailants that we haven't fully understood. You also kind of have to investigate the boat. And that's something you can do in pairs or with an NPC.
We're doing another boat adventure?
Well, what happened was the boat that attacked the Araskabai was the Araskabai from an alternate dimension with more engines and better technology, and they rammed into it with guns from the future.
Okay.
It had less pew-pew, more pew-pew, so we stole it.
Yeah, so, like, Temper is like, neither of these should be here, really, and we have to take one of them home. This one's totaled, but, you know, the new one... I actually might have had you tell him this, that the new one probably picked up some hitchhikers on its way through the astral plane. You might have some stowaways to kick off of there. You better be really careful if you go below decks on that thing. Furthermore, it is full of corpses of people that exist in this dimension, which means...
Question, what happens if we make the corpses touch the person that is alive?
You traumatize them.
Oh damn it!
That's really horrible.
I thought some cool like loophole shit would happen.
No,
like
it doesn't. This won't correct itself, and that's why the TPA is there. It's to prevent the Rick and Morty problem. You don't want 1,000 of the same person showing up in your dimension.
Shitty fans? I don't want those.
There's nothing you can do to stop them. So that's why the teleport authorities thing is. You stay in your infinite alternate universe, and we'll stay in ours. And if anyone commits strafing, we'll arrest them. Temper's going the other way and saying anyone who jumps time will get to deal with us, even if they succeed at what they're doing. It is possible to succeed at what you are setting out to do, and that's the problem. You get arrested anyway, and they still have to fix your mess.
But how do you fix it if it's already set in stone?
That's the thing.
So you basically end up with like you just fork it to a part where you didn't foil it, so it's still happening.
That's why when Temper shows up, your guys go, what are you doing here? We've got it under control. Time is space.
Because you already done fucked up and allowed them to get here in the first place. So this was your problem. It's now our problem.
Well, he got an upgrade out of the deal, and your headquarters is being moved aboard a battleship.
Wait, my headquarters is getting put on a
battleship? Not yours.
I don't know how much of that we went over.
Oh.
The judge's new court is going to occur on a battleship called the Clear Advantage because it has a glass steel bottom. So it is very hard to assault. Like right now, we post guards on the seafloor because we have amphibious police. With this, you don't have to do that quite so much.
We still will because raisins.
But the rest of it is dry, and Felky's job is to outfit it with whatever will make sure this doesn't happen again. Magical, non-magical. He's talking about having a hex station built on there, which is fine. He wants to turn it into an airship, which is legally insanely sticky in Northbeach. But getting that battleship turned into an astral skiff might be a little more feasible.
Well,
the astral plane
we are also the government, so we can do whatever the hell we want, and just hide it from the public, like happens all the time in real life. Just saying.
This is when you work for the CIA. Come on now.
Okay, so it sounds
it's
like
funny you
Rexus,
mention that.
Sounds like you and Rexus have paired up as investigators. So what do you want to do? Do you want to question Haihan together? Do you want to go and investigate Sable? Do you want to investigate the boat, or do you want to investigate the attack?
I kind of want to go in the boat because you said there.
Personally, I think we need to debrief Haihan, at least to make sure that there's no incident that's going to happen because of this This is the second sort of hostile encounter she's been involved in.
Yeah, she's pretty unlucky, actually.
Well, so Jay, be advised that us interviewing Haihan now, we have to do so without any of the information that we picked up from the last time I interviewed her off stream. So just remember that.
She wouldn't assume you would not talk to someone about what you heard. She didn't tell you she was going to bite your head off if you told her secrets. In fact, what she told you could be told to anyone without shame, which is why she told you. If she had something incriminating to say, she would eat beetles.
for the continuity of the stream, because...
Oh, you want to go over it again?
Well, I'm just saying because people weren't there. It was just you and me doing that.
So I'll answer all the questions as though they're the first time.
Okay.
No problem. Okay, that I get. Okay, so you want to question Ambassador Haihan.
I guess we should go over that.
You find yourselves on the battleship. Six Bay is much bigger, and she finds herself sharing it with some people. One of whom, for now, is Charybdis. Caught some bullets, not others. So he's in there, and you can tell, like, by the way he's looking at Haihan, that the two of them have had words. And she has got a crate of Type 7 rations next to her bed. It's the ones that no one wants but the goblins and other people who think beetles the size of a plum are appetizing. And
disgusting.
Yeah, she's...
delicious.
Oh, yeah. And she's on her...
Nice.
She's got this jar. And she... As you're walking in, she's on her back. Her legs are starting to go back. Not much. It's like having, like, 3/4 legs, and they kind of wiggle a little bit once in a while.
Am I still here or no?
It's like that scene from Deadpool.
You wanna be part of it? Why not? You can be wherever you want. You can be wherever you want to.
I'm gonna use this baby later.
Do you guys want me to join, or would it be better if I was not here?
No, you might as well.
You're an inquisitor.
All right, then
you're an inquisitor. In fact,
here.
your purview would actually include her because she represents the goddess Lolth.
Yeah, I was about to say you're part of this, unfortunately.
I
munch.
I'm sitting here, and have the children been recovered? Am I still sitting let it go in demonic to Gilligan?
The kids have been moved aboard the battleship, but that was worse than the war. That was worse than the Battle of Matchsticks.
Am I singing or
no? The incident. Like these kids, these kids have only so much. Like you are a
you
comforting.
didn't give a lot of context.
Okay, so
you are on yours, but
so you said you were like singing "Let It Go" in demonic, and the only thing I can think of was it was this one.
I actually wrote a version of the song in demonic that I was going to sing if he ever got back around to me by the end of the session, but unfortunately I had to go to bed.
So for
oh no, this isn't it. This isn't it. I gave you the wrong link.
All right, we'll get back to you, man. We're trying to question Haihan, and she's
go ahead.
She's kind of like cocooned part of the bed with spinneret silk to make it a little more suitable, but she's still lying on her back with this jar. The label's been ripped off, and she sees you come in and pops a large, long bug in her mouth. And
I take it those are a delicacy, Blick?
Spicy.
Are those?
If the judge catches you with these, she'll give you 20 years, I hear, and then exile.
Are those what I think they are?
But they're so delicious and safe when they're pickled. She's eating a jar of what appears to be large cockroaches and very crunchy, like shrimp heads with sushi. This is like the equivalent of eating sushi for goblins and driders and orcs and some, what are they called? The hyena people.
The gnolls?
The gnolls are into it. The gnolls are into it. Some of the orcs are. Some of the orcs think they're revolting. She's chewing on this. It looks like it's imported, but it somehow ended up in your rations. You can't, it's either yours or it's someone else's.
Oh, she's eating somebody else's lunch. What a bitch.
She's been making people bring her more rations to eat, just basically nonstop. Luckily, Monty's been able to provide, but she's been eating the Type 7 rations, which is all the bugs.
Well,
because there are so many kinds of species in the Northbeach Navy, there are many types of rations that people can eat and people can. enchanted. Type 7 are for Tengu, and goblins.
The ones that actually like bugs.
Oh yeah, and
so-
some humans, by the way, like some bugs are actually insanely delicious, and they're a really good source of protein. So some humans are into them too. Charybdis is clearly not.
Outstanding.
Right.
Ambassador Hihan.
Yes.
You want one? Not that one. It's been in my mouth.
I would, but I'm currently on duty.
I'm sure they're delicious, but I'll pass.
You're not capable of surviving the ingestion of them.
Anyway, now clearly you were still recovering from the incident at Sable, which I feel we need to discuss a little bit about before, something else happens and we no longer get the opportunity to talk to you.
I know. I was racist in Northbeach. It's going to be a while before I live that down. I was delirious.
It's alright, you were in a difficult situation.
Charybdis rolls his eyes. I got tail slapped for it. I think we all walked away better people.
Right.
Yeah. Insight check.
There's talk that Charybdis' career is in trouble because he tail slapped a diplomat from an alternate dimension.
Well, we were in the middle. That is currently an ongoing investigation, and this time we cannot necessarily talk about it. So, what we will talk about...
My racism?
No, the good lawyer's, the good counselor's career being in jeopardy.
The monkey fish. We're friends now.
Sure.
I'll believe that when I see it.
I don't think monkeyfish is how they like being talked about. It's just a thought I have.
No, she can't get me over here, so I've said some things too, Inquisitor. I wouldn't say we're friends, but we've been honest.
Well, at least that's a start.
He wants to become a judge.
This is a very...
Tail-slapping diplomat is a great way to get there. Well, it'll get you to court.
Yes.
How about we circle back?
Yeah, so could you remind me and my colleagues here what exactly your reason for being in Sable at the time of the incident was?
I was in Tower 16 peddling explosives and flammables.
Could you reword that? I'm pretty sure that's not exactly what you meant.
Why?
Because that's a confession to a crime.
No, you wait. You thought I was in there with gunpowder and bullets on me?
That is what you just said.
No.
You said,
I was
said
selling
sale.
futures. You think I wouldn't be doing something illegal, would you? That's why you tried to shoot me in the street. Couldn't catch me on something normal.
None of us tried to shoot you.
Oh, really?
And
Tell me that explosion was an attempt on my life. Tell me the only unexpected factor was me surviving.
We have no proof that there was any attempt on your life.
There were no other VIPs in the building, and as soon as I came out,
there were no other VIPs in Sable.
Really? What was Judge Grimmadine? What were you?
We were operatives in Sable doing a job.
Well, I was an operative doing a job too. I was making some money.
Well, had your office alerted us to your presence there, maybe we could have better protected you. But if you...
Your protection? Do you know what happened to the first diplomat I invited into the Cinnabar embassy? Threats immediately. Next one. Threats third. But they were on the table. And now you're telling me that you could have protected me. Do you know what? I woke up this millennium and I said to what I said to myself? I'm going to take this garbage they threw into my yard and I'm going to sell it back to them right under their noses and let them blow each other up with it. I was going to play nice with you. I watched how you dealt with us. I thought you'd do it with fire, but you did it with rain. And I said, oh, what interesting little anthropods. Maybe I can deal with them differently. I am here to take advantage of you, Agent. I'm here to exploit you economically, like everyone else in this town.
At least you're being honest about it.
I was selling them the rights to the garbage you threw in the hole for when it becomes legal in Northbeach. And if Tower 16 hadn't exploded, that might have been this week.
Well, thankfully, it will not.
Do you know what a fiasco you caused? Do you know what happened at the Quadrangle? It must have been... They must have turned on each other. And when the Durals found out they weren't getting paid...
Oh, so this is all our fault. It wouldn't happen to be that you, perhaps, were trying to sell illegal goods.
Well...
And then all of them wanted on the power escalation, and therefore... Maybe they were on edge with each other?
Oh, I was surrounded by criminals, but I have diplomatic immunity to that. I was only helping them kill one another. The thing was, they were supposed to go out to sea before they started doing that.
Exactly how diplomatic immunity works, my friend.
No, it is how it works in Northbeach. I can
Well-
associate with it, but I haven't
It
done
may
anything
not.
the rest of it.
It may not get you arrested, but that doesn't necessarily mean that there are not going to be additional consequences. Your diplomatic immunity is provided with the understanding that someone, whether it be yourself or someone else, is held responsible for your actions.
What do you think my embassy will be angrier about? The fact that I was doing business, or the fact that I was blown to smithereens?
In an accident.
By either a police action or a criminal one, which falls on your head either way, officer.
Since you were operating in such a dangerous area without our purview, I don't see how we could take any responsibility. Since you do take responsibility for your own actions, yes, I don't need to assign an agent to you to babysit you.
If you made an attempt on my life, you have my compliments. You covered that thing that humans call an ass. You did as I did. You made sure there was nothing. But the thing is, with me, there was nothing. With you, you're with the feds. Do you know what the difference between a criminal and a spy is? A paycheck.
Well, thanks. I'll take that as a compliment.
Oh, you should. Diplomats and spies. We hate each other, but we're inseparable, aren't we? You need diplomats to do something with what you find. As if we don't, you died in the dark for nothing. And it is all we can do not to just let you. All the trouble that you are.
So what kind of equipment are you planning to offer should it become legal so far? Explosives?
How good is your history?
Assume I'm an idiot.
You went to the academy? You went to the school?
Yes, I did.
What do you know about the coal ban?
Historically speaking,
Just start vomiting information and I'll tell you when to stop.
coal was banned because the area here is so flammable. If its use in a forge or another implement was to break out, the fire would become uncontrollable, burn down large portions of the city, and then, well, we'd have a disaster on our hands. Hence, coal was banned except for very specific uses.
So you're not familiar with the grilling spree?
Grilling spree?
The grilling spree.
No.
The way I understand it, you used to enjoy hamburgers, steaks, meat cooked on a fire. Way to ruin it. It's best with the blood in, but every once in a while I do like me a nice crispy. But then, Firewatch came to power and they banned coal, lamp oil, alchemist's fire, kerosene, ghost rock, RDX crystals,
Yes.
all magic items that would create fire, all chemical items that would create fire, or electricity, because of the two-word poem, which is...
I'm immortal and I don't even have time for this.
I do.
This is going somewhere, I hope.
Me, once I'm healed, I'm going back to the Cinnabar Embassy.
No.
You have until I finish my cockroaches to ask me whatever you think you can get me to answer.
This story on the history of grilling is going somewhere, I hope.
Oh, they knocked over all the grills, they destroyed all the ovens, they took anything and everything that could possibly cause a fire, and it went away. It just went away into thin air, and everyone was safe and happy. And she burps at
Yes,
you.
that thin air apparently was called giant hole in the forest.
What does this have to do with explosives?
Oh, well, they took all of those explosives and firebombs and confiscated them all and threw them in the sinkhole.
So you're...
And that's what they did with everything they didn't like for the rest of the next 60 years. They would take dangerous items and simply throw them in the hole. And I woke up one millennium and I looked outside of my sanctum and I had the most volatile objects hanging in my webs from my awnings on my couch. My drapes corroded. It was acid, that one. Electrical fires. That's why electricity's illegal in your home. How do you think our webs would take it? Do you know how long it took to manage that? Oh. And
Yes.
I knew. The only way I could get back. I'm not like the others. No, I wear clothes. I have money. I'm with the counting house. I decided I'd profit off of you. I would take your garbage and your waste and your poison, and I would sell it back to you hand over fist to fuel your will to kill one another. It never really did go away, did it? Cats and dogs, spiders and fish.
So your plan is to sell the explosives, firearms, and any other useful items that were unfortunately dumped into your realm back to us to incite some sort of what?
Let me put it in
revolution.
No. So the revolution was already here, Rexus, and frankly.
Oh, I'm sorry. You only have so much time to live. Spend it babbling at me. Go ahead.
So the reality of the situation is she was capitalizing on the fact that there was already rebellion, that there was already civil war and crime and whatnot, and she was...
I was capitalizing off the fact that there was a market.
Exactly.
It's the same way you do, the same way you did when you acquired yourself a yacht from another criminal.
So your plan is to undermine the security of Northbeach by arming the criminal element. That makes sense.
Let me put it this way.
Rexus, you were asking the same fucking question over and over again.
I was greeted with a rainstorm and a broadsword and a threat, and a mess of garbage. The simple formula we're using here is, whatever you use upon us shall be heaped upon you. And you've heaped quite a bit upon us. You've passed the buck quite some time now. Firewatch wouldn't really like to have to take credit for any of this, so they're going to make sure that nobody finds out about any of that for real. Anyone that doesn't matter. You can rest assured, though, in your lifetime, the coal buy is probably not going to happen.
Well,
the legality of flammables in your city is completely inevitable, but after the explosion of Tower 16 and the limousine massacre, guns aren't looking very good in this town.
Limousine massacre?
Yes.
We just lived through it?
Yes. That's the name
Two
for it.
lavish yachts covered in blood, with police and brigands from the astral plane. I thought they were there for me to finish the job. Thought for sure. Blew my mind. I will admit something to you. I am not often able to use the term hornswoggled, but God's honest truth I am. I cannot believe they did not come down and slaughter me with the children. I was sure that their instruction would be to kill everyone but the widow.
So you are clearly very familiar with whoever it was that instigated this particular attack.
The Githyanki? Oh, you should ask your teleport authoritarian over there trying to keep the security of the borders of your dimensional space. Well, he knows all about it. I can't believe you didn't ask me about the widow. I dangled that one in your face, Mortal. You didn't take it.
We would have gotten here.
Oh, but do you have the time? I do. My legs grow back. When I was tail slapped, I was at 27% effectiveness. Just eating beetles, I've already reached 48. If any of you would like to try anything to change my attitude, I invite you to try. It is both illegal and futile.
Well, as your diplomatic immunity is likely going to be revoked after your involvement in both of these, after your confession to involvement in both of these incidents.
Ah, sailors, failing to understand economics every time. I'm sorry. Go ahead and piss away your money on wine and flowers. I have no need to interrupt you from filling your tiny existence with a fugue. It's your first attempt to do anything with your sapience is to turn it off.
So, what... Go ahead, Blake.
I'm a bitch. I'll say it for you, but I can afford to be. I'm walking out of here.
Dude, now is not the time.
You. You. Oh, dear me.
Before you leave...
If a ship sinks, you know what happens to the captain, yes? Oh, he doesn't get a watch.
I'm well aware.
He doesn't get a lullaby. He gets to drown. But you can't drown, can you? So what happens then?
I walk my happy ass out after I'm done watching my ship burn to the ground.
You are never walking away from this. The miasma of the Battle of the Yachts. All of you are going to have to deal with that for years. Whether or not you get in trouble for it. The multiverse is out of balance because of you. Thank goodness there's only one of me. And she looks at Eurus and goes, luckily you're off the hook too. I bet that's what changed the tide. You and the bee. I bet that wasn't in their plans.
So, Ambassador, have you had any previous dealing with the Githyanki that invaded?
The ones that invaded you? That clan?
Yes.
Oh, I have no way of knowing that. They were masked. All I can say is the Teleport Authority have extensive dealings with the Githyanki. There are plural Githyanki living in your city as citizens. And Githzerai, I'm led to understand, they're hiding from the Great Queen. What do they call her? The one that eats them when they become too powerful. The Lich.
I forgot her name.
Yeah, I forgot it too.
I took a blow to the head. It was rather big. It was the size of a building.
Of course, Ambassador, you understand, none of these were attempts on your life. You seem to have bad luck. We're going to look into assigning an officer to look out for your well-being while you're in the city.
Oh, that's cute. You're probably going to assign me somebody I could eat.
Ambassador, you're pretty strong. You could eat most anyone you want.
There is one. That's what I thought you were going to do when you walked in the room. I thought you were with them. I thought you were going to be the one to snuff me out. You're the only one on the boat that could.
I have better things to do with my
But
time.
you had the children. Yes, the children. Did they taste better?
Well, this is...
I wouldn't know, I'm not a monster.
Oh, I know something about monsters. They don't make themselves. Have a good day, Agent. I thank you for the security you're going to send me out. Tell him jokes until he goes mad.
Of course, Ambassador.
I understand you. I understand you're this country. This country likes a joke. I understand you have quite the taste for the yo mama joke.
Yes. Yes.
No, not really.
Be well, Ambassador.
Crunch, crunch, crunch,
I
crunch.
can't help feel we're missing something here.
The widow.
I assume that's what you're calling the judge.
That's what you call her now, before her kids die.
There was a certain assumption that that was what you meant.
Did you find the one that was on the boat that crashed into yours?
No.
You didn't find the widow?
No.
There was another one?
The spiders told me they shot the children on the other boat.
Yes.
Where's the mother of those children?
Lovely.
I assume in another plane? Let's hope.
Her eyes get... She drops the jar. You haven't found the widow? You don't know where she is? She could be anywhere?
We had no hints. We had no hints that another existed.
She starts knocking jars over, trying to get out of bed, roll out of the bed. She flops onto the floor and starts scrabbling towards the door. She shoulders cops aside.
Rexus will try and calm her.
Finally, something.
Hold on now.
Is afraid of.
Hold on.
She'll be back. Don't you understand? And she'll kill these kids to create another one.
You'll be
I'm not going to be here when that happens.
Maybe you should actually be honest with people and, you know, they can actually make the right decisions.
Oh, I haven't lied to you about anything. That's the worst part, isn't it?
Lying through
Is the widow-
is still a lie.
If you know what the goal of the widow is, why is she trying to make all these temporal incursions on our judge?
She, like, where is your teleport authority agent to explain reality to you?
Alright.
Things like, you know that, and I have to tell you this, I have to tell you what you know, which is annoying to be to do exposition that way, but you know that the problem here is if one moves from one dimension to the other and fucks things up for the version of them that lives there, their next inclination is to go to the dimension to their left and fuck it up for the next guy. So
It's temporal cancer.
Yeah, you create a widow. She goes insane. The only thing she can do is find her kids.
She just replicates, dude.
The only place her kids exist is in an alternate dimension, and you know how that's going to go. She's going to go there.
Oh, God.
Their mother's going to protect them. She's going to kill the mother, or she's going to kill the kids. And if she kills the mother, the kids become time cops. And if she kills the kids, the mother becomes a widow.
That explains all the temporal replicas of the kids.
And if she comes here, the judge is the reason the attempt failed. The judge was the only reason the attempt was stopped, because you can only stop a widow with another widow. This was the creation process. Something failed, and I'm getting out of here for when she gets back. And I'd like to see you stop me.
Oh, you're not going anywhere.
Oh, really? You're going to shoot me? Is that what you're going to do? You're going to need your crossbow bolts.
Well,
I'm gonna roll seduction.
Do you know what I do to my sex partners when I'm finished with them, little man?
Yeah.
I'll bet
now
you
is
would
not
be
the time.
spicy on the tongue.
I love how it was not the succubus that went with the, I'm gonna
because I don't think Blick would be familiar with this, so I need to roll knowledge nature.
I actually think that the person with the least likely chance of winning at seducing anything.
So
But
that is
I'm
a
charisma
10.
based.
Blick is one really sexy goblin, man.
I'm charisma based, bro.
Oh, that's right. That's fair. Okay, you're really charming in your unattractive ways.
Who? What?
What?
Who said I was unattractive? I'm an Ifrit.
He's a sorcerer. Charisma is his
I'm
main
a-
stat.
Yeah.
Fair. I
They're
don't always think that. I don't see it that way.
all right. You can also see charisma as the force of personality, but then where does
That's
appearance
what I do.
go? I mean,
Yeah. Well, because an Ifrit is like a big,
it's-
muscular, fiery,
it's
like
a-
demonic.
It's a
thing.
fire genie, basically, and they
Yeah.
could be
Yeah.
very beautiful. Okay.
they're like Janazi. They're like Janazi or a Jinn, and his blood is from the plane of fire, which makes
Okay.
him a unique creature in Northbeach. He is of fire, but he does not cause fires wherever he goes.
I guess I see them more as flaming minotaurs, so I do not necessarily assume Ifrit as
Look, I'm just
I was
like a
thinking you were
minotaur, okay?
attracted because of your personality.
I'm going to tell you a quick story about being hot in games, and then we'll get back to game. I had a spycraft game, and the girls kept flashing their boobs at people as a distraction. And I'm like, well, I guess it would work. At one point, they said, which of our boobs are better? They're looking at me. And I'm like, fuck. All right. Both these girls are like, who's got better boobs as character? I'm like, all right.
Roll for it.
Take your, no. Take your charisma, add it to your constitution, divide it by 2. And
Would
it,
that be each boob?
no, like it's
Divided by
like,
2.
are they
Well,
healthy or are they
that'd
like?
be one
I'm like,
set of
they can be
boobs.
either like really healthy or really sexy.
Seems to make
It
sense.
has nothing
It's
to do
like
with
a
your
pair of
dexterity or
pants.
strength. And they actually averaged out to the same, so they're standing there comparing, and I'm like, and they ended up flipping a coin to.
Probably.
It was so. If you must know like how hot you are.
Did this happen at the soiree?
No, it did not happen at the soiree. This happened before I ever played the soiree.
Okay.
This was the game my brother was in.
That explains.
And that was actually my brother's girlfriend who said, like, my brother's girlfriend and then his next girlfriend were both playing. And they're like, which of our boobs are better? I'm like, I don't know. Let's look at your numbers. So you're going to have to do something to make Haihon stay. And you're not eager to fight her. She's still...
Alright,
wounded
rolling
and-
seduction.
Okay. They have magical powers. They've got innate powers. She's also a monk. On top, she has class levels on top of being a monster.
Ambassador, if I might say, we've already begun the process of isolating this vessel on a temporal and a dimensional level.
Do you know what a joke that is? Whatever measure you put up, they'll go to a dimension where a countermeasure exists. They're not breaking time, they're stealing objects from time. It's temporal smuggling. That's what they're doing, and they're sending other people to do their dirty work. And they'll be here. They'll be here with weapons that shoot beams of sun. I've seen it happen.
With all that said, you really think that there is anywhere in this plane of existence that you can hide?
If they're not after me, anywhere but here would be perfect.
And what's to say they aren't?
If they're after me, there's nothing you or anyone can do. They will come to me at the Cinnabar Embassy, they will collapse it, ride it into the Demon Web pits, land on Loth, say hello, and shoot her in the forehead with a diamond-tipped bolt made of the bone of a god and the feather of a phoenix and the blood of the river of pain that the vampires worship.
And a partridge in a pear tree. Yes, we get it.
The inevitability of the situation
succubus
means that there is no way you can hide.
Oh, if she wants me, there's nowhere I can hide. But I have a sneaking suspicion that if she wanted me, well, that attack could have gone a lot of ways.
Yeah, well, she also wanted the kids, and she didn't get them. Or she wanted the judge, and she didn't get them. So...
all we have is uncertainty here.
Yeah.
I think I should just leave.
But you've got a better chance here than you do anywhere else. Because we've already done it once. We can do it again. Now, you sit your pretty ass down, get your strength back. Enjoy a few more fiendish cockroaches, and we'll be back to talk to you later.
She leans down really close to you, and she just, I'll make you a deal, gobsnack.
And what is that?
You have until these legs... She points at them, and they wiggle pathetically. You have until these 3 legs grow back. You have until I can walk out of here without stumbling. Until then, I'm going to keep eating your fiendish cockroaches, whatever it is. You have contraband in here. I'm going to make sure that it doesn't get you in any trouble while I convalesce, and you are not taking any of your magic or your alchemy near me. I will heal under my own power, eating beetles the old-fashioned way, and whatever else flies into my net, which you should stay away from.
Rexus, can I talk to you for a minute?
Of course. I think there's some basic questions we might have for you, Ambassador, about the quadrangle, important personnel that you deal with there, if you wouldn't mind quite answering that later.
But of course, you've been so charming and polite.
Tensions are building, Next time on the gavel, new friends and old enemies start lending pieces to the puzzle of time and chance. And the judge must make the hardest decision of her career. Coming soon on Northbeach Police Confidential, We Are NPC. Soundtrack by Kevin MacLeod at Incompetech.com with guest composer Marcin Prisbowicz. You can support this ridiculous symphony of excess by visiting the Montresor Media Patreon and complain about our grasp of police work and game rules on Twitter at We Are NPCs.